Paula's Hookers and Escorts.
Right?
You can order at Paula Couture Consignment.
Okay, Brian, I thought I'd wear this special for you.
Thank you. I like that. That's awesome.
I got to play to my crowd, too, I said.
Yes.
I'll start with
Do you want
this.
to store masks?
No, I'm going to start with this. I think this thing's funny.
I think it's awesome. All right, so you don't have to get up and check Instagram. I'll be monitoring it during the
Okay.
podcast.
Well, we are live now, so.
Hey, welcome to episode 28. Coffee and bullshit.
And we have our special guest, Paula. She's a clowning today. That's her full-time job, as you can tell.
Mask, though, right?
So
Yes.
Paula from Paula's Couture Consignment.
Couture. What does couture mean?
High fashion.
Couture
I
means
always thought it meant one of a kind.
Mm-mm.
No.
Really?
Close enough, though.
I thought when someone said this is couture, I thought it meant there's like that's an actual artist's creation.
Yes,
It's like their designer's creation, right?
Yeah.
So that,
It's usually handmade, yes.
It's not they didn't
It's
ship
not
over to
just
China
yeah.
to make and have
Exactly.
like tiny babies.
You got it.
Got it. See? All the stuff I know from watching TV.
I just said, well, since you're so fashionable, I did bring something special just for you, Brian.
Ooh.
I thought we could see you in this beautiful dress here.
Awesome. It's very
It has nice waistline here. You can just tie it to
Beautiful.
fit you.
The
Awesome.
show is upper area.
Yeah, he'll be modeling this soon for us.
a little later today. I don't think I have a shoes or handbag to go with it.
I'll
I
set
don't
you
have
up.
a match.
I'll set you up.
We'll come over later. Put a whole outfit on. I'll come model for your party later.
Excellent.
Really? He'll do it, too.
I have no shame.
Aaron's been in sequins at my store. I mean, after that, it's a hard topper.
That would be a hard topper. Yes.
It's always enough to shave.
He usually had a couple of beers to get him in a dress, though.
It is what it
And
is.
it probably takes a couple beers to get him out of the dress.
Now that's easy.
I'm wearing this home. I look good. I'm going out.
So, Paula, how did you get into this high fashion industry?
So let's see. I got a job at another consignment shop, and I loved it. And I worked there for 6 years, got divorced, and decided to bet on myself. Opened up my own store, and I've been doing it. This is my third year in business now down here.
Has it been 3 years now?
That's awesome.
This is my third year, yeah.
So tell people a little more about your store so they understand what you're doing over there.
So consignment means that I'm reselling your clothes, your like new condition clothes. So I'm looking for things that are like 2 to 3 years old. And your better name brands. So for our women viewers out there, your White House Black Market, your Loft, your Ann Taylor, you make 40% of what sells. What
Wow.
doesn't sell, I donate. I ask you if I can donate to the Batavia Interfaith Clothes Closet.
Awesome.
So it all stays right here in the community. It works well for everybody. And yeah, it's fun. Everything's about 70% off of retail.
So I can't bring my 70s J.C. Penney's Jordache jeans.
Well, I do love vintage, so you might get away with
I
that.
was gonna say, is there a particular like time right now that fashion era that everybody's going after? Because like my daughter thinks that right now that 80s is cool.
Yeah, that's big right now, especially when you're younger.
Right. They're all looking at she's like last night she's asking me like, is it true that girls like wore really high bangs? I'm like, yes.
Yes.
She's like, was it like blue eyeshadow and big shoulders? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, that stuff is cool. I'm like, it's not cool. I'm like, you think it's cool. When I look back and see movies, we watched, what the hell movie did I watch there? Oh, we were watching a tape of David Copperfield.
Oh, gosh, yeah, that's right.
That dude was like, he's like a tiny guy, but he wears looks like he's wearing a football uniform underneath every jacket because he's trying to look like a big dude. I'm like, what is going on? Like, it looks so ridiculous, but you're like, that's what I have like suit coats from back to like older. And it's like the shoulder pads and that thing were massive. I'm like, as a guy, like, who needs shoulder pads in their jackets? Like, it's already big. But it's like, it's so funny. Like, that was such a style then.
Nope.
I'm wondering because he was dating, Claudia Schiffer, right? So she had to be a Schiffer, but she had to be at least 6 foot, right? 5'8".
Probably.
So he had to be at least 6 foot.
Probably. Models are generally tall.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think he probably was standing on a box most of the time.
most of the time. The illusion of being
Oh,
tall.
my God.
I just say there's all those tricks they can do.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen like behind the scenes in Iron Man?
I've not.
I never noticed until I saw it behind the scenes, but there's a scene where Robert Downey Jr. is walking next to Gwyneth Paltrow, and you don't realize the whole movie he's like taller than her. But I saw the behind the scenes, and they have him walking on a runway that's about a foot high, because he's a really short guy. He's only like 5'5" or 5'6", and she's tall. She's like 6 or 6'1", but he's taller than her in the movie. So when you go back and watch the movie now, it's funny you see him, because right, he is a superhero, so he's got to be tall. Right, so they have him, he walks on boxes everywhere in front of people. Tom Cruise does the same stuff.
It's eliminating your superhero days now, because you're a little bit...
If you were in movies, you'd be 6 foot 6'1".
I could be.
You'd be tall. You'd be walking on box runways.
We just watched Better Off Dead, talking 80s movies.
That's awesome. I love that movie.
I had never seen it until the other day.
The best line ever was in that, like the $2 thing.
Yeah,
was like
I want my $2.
It's a real shame people throwing away a perfectly good white boy like that. That was like, that's all I heard like when we were in school. Like that was the line was every day. It's funny because I just watched Grosse Point Blank. You seen that?
I have not seen that one.
Oh, that's another one of his. It's awesome.
Aaron's making me go through the 80s movies, so...
Grosse Point Blank is good. It's he's really good in that one. It's just a classic. He plays basically the same guy that he played in Better Off Dead, like the same, not older, but it's the same kind of character.
What's the one where he's at a record store?
Yes, that one is so... They even made They even made it into a series.
Mm-hmm. I can't think of the name of the movie.
That one's really good now.
Yeah, that was the first one we watched.
Yeah.
And then Better Off Dead the other day.
Who's the actor?
John Cusack.
Oh, John Cusack. Yeah, that's
I think of the record store one now.
Baby in that movie.
Yeah.
He's a baby.
Is that the one with Belushi? No.
No, it's one where he's in high school. He's trying to fix up the car that's in the Camaro he has in the driveway.
Because he's sad he lost his girl. And he ends up with the French girl who can speak English, but you don't think...
And the paper boy keeps on chasing for his $2.
Yeah, $2. I want my $2.
$2.
I'm like, why is he asking him and not the dad?
Yeah. He keeps trying to commit suicide through the whole movie because he's sad about losing his girlfriend.
Yeah. And
I don't remember that movie.
The glass in the mirror.
I know I've seen it, but it's been a long time.
In the garage door.
Yes.
You keep breaking.
You keep breaking with the paper and everything.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the Asian guys in the car with the speaker.
Yes.
There he is.
And
a 12-time loser.
Casal.
Coming back.
Casal,
yeah.
That's who he learned English from, listening to Howard Cosell.
And I'm trying to think, all the boxes of cereal are always spilling everywhere.
That's right.
And his brother's like brilliant, makes a rocket ship at the end.
Oh yeah, he's like a 7 or... Yeah, he's like, my brother is probably going to go work for NASA or something.
Yep.
He's like a loser, like a high school loser.
Yep.
That's awesome.
That's good. That's a good movie.
Yeah. So you got to see Grosse Point Blank. It's good. It's about he's older. He's an assassin, a hired assassin. He goes back to his high school reunion. It's really good.
Okay.
And his sister Joan plays like his office manager in it. She's awesome in everything though.
Yeah.
She does a great job playing like the crazy, obsessive nut job. I don't know how she does it so well, but she does it really good.
Like in what's that TV show? The one Showtime.
You got me stumped.
With the family, Irish Southside, Chicago family. Shameless, yes, and Shameless.
Is she in that?
Yeah.
She is? That's right. She plays the girlfriend.
Yeah,
she plays the girlfriend. That's right.
Crazy.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yes. That's right, with the daughter. Yes. She always does a great job playing that crazy person.
Yeah. You can go ahead and read it.
You're at the damn bar.
She's at the bar?
Yeah.
It's Saturday afternoon. Why not?
She just stopped by to see me. She got her Paula Holic glass at my store.
So does it say Paula Holic on there?
Yeah, it's a wine glass and it says Paula Holic.
Is that for your frequent shoppers?
Yeah.
I'm a Paula Holic. I like wine and shopping for clothes.
I've got my groupies.
I was like, what's Sal telling me about the party? I'm like, that's almost like book club. It's a great place to go and just hang out and drink wine.
It is.
Book club.
No, they don't drink. They have teas.
Now we've had tea. We used to. Right now we're in a tea phase.
We really can't say you're drinking at the shop.
Well, it's closed.
Why?
It's after
closed?
hours. Yeah.
Oh, well, I thought well.
Yeah, it's after hours.
Something about
you can drink in the shop during hours as long as you're not selling the alcohol.
No. Now you can't serve it then in the city of Batavia.
See?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's BYOB, right?
Your doors have to be locked, and you have to have
really?
There's a whole list of rules.
I thought on private property, basically, it's like as long as you're not selling it and avoiding paying taxes, you're good to go.
No. Whole list of rules down here.
So
I mean, I guess I understand it because otherwise then you have someone controlling how much people are served.
Yep.
It leads a lot more DUIs. Then you're liable too.
Yep.
yeah.
So I get it.
But after hours, I'm allowed because then it's just me.
Ah, okay.
And the fashion shows, the live fashion shows are after hours. Doors are locked and all that.
You heard that? So you plan your next party at her place?
How do they book a private show if they want a private?
If they want a private party, they just contact me via Facebook or at the store, whatever. And I do private parties. Like I have one tonight from 5 to 7, and then one tomorrow morning from 10 to noon. So the doors are locked then, and I'm not providing it. But if you want to bring in your alcohol, you are allowed to do that then too.
BYOW.
Yep.
Bring your own wine.
Mm-hmm. I know tomorrow morning the ladies asked if they could bring their own mimosas.
Oh, I'll be good for that. I like doing mimosas in the morning, man. It's great. Whenever we do like the Easter brunch or anything, it's always
Mimosa over a bloody?
Yeah.
Okay.
Much better.
Could it be a bloody over mimosa?
And you can have whatever you want. It's all yours down here at Gun Barrel.
That's right. Sometimes the Bloody Mary is just a little too much in the morning.
Dave, I want a big brown and black mug. Well,
you want one of these mugs?
Those mugs?
This is a handcrafted.
I was just saying, that's very fancy.
This is handcrafted. This is made from one piece of tree that was imported from China and handcrafted by tiny Chinese babies. I don't know. And it gets a beautiful sticker.
Yeah, you get the Gun Barrel sticker. Throw it on your mug.
You can order it. $22.95 right now. Dollar goes to veterans and first responders. Where do we get these mugs? Forget.
I ordered them. Just the one.
It's just a wooden mug, but the cool thing is it's got a beer opener on the bottom.
Yeah, it does have a beer opener.
That is cool.
Use it for
That's
coffee.
It's weird, but I don't usually have my coffee and my beer at the same time.
That makes you very odd.
I'm usually not double fisting in the morning. Like a little bit of coffee. Like I could get it like.
That's how Sal rolls in.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, it's cool, but I never have a thing where I'll have like my coffee cup and people are drinking beer.
Maybe it's supposed to be a beer mug.
Well, in the description it said a coffee mug.
I mean, it's
The
always
beer
it's
bottle
always
opener.
cool to have
With
tool
the,
use.
yeah, tool use. But I mean, what happened? You want to open up an old
You know what this is good for?
thing of Coke?
College kids, because you would never go buy an opener. So when you're like digging through the cabinet for something to open stuff with, you're like, oh wait, the coffee mug has one.
Way better than using your teeth.
Right. It's on the side of the counter.
X used to do that.
Really?
I used to use my
the counter, yeah.
yeah, my counter or the bunk bed, like my bunk bed frame, and just like, because usually we were just bed beers.
Bed beers.
Bed beers.
Yeah,
Bed beers and beyond.
Our dorm room was so tiny.
Great store.
There you go. Our dorm room was so tiny, there was no room for couches. It was my bed and my roommate's bed, and it was like everybody came and sat in our bed. So it was like side of the bed.
That's different than a shower beer.
Shower beers are good.
But how would you open up in the shower?
You have to. There's actually shower heads now that have the opener on them, and there's a good cup holder, beer holders for the shower. You stick it on the wall in there, it holds the beer.
But then
Mine has everything.
You must have a problem if you know all this.
You know what the problem is? Is having to take a shower and stop drinking. You want to be able to drink while you're taking a shower. Because let's think about it. Like if you have to go out somewhere, you come home, you want your beer, but you got a shower to get ready to go out for the night. Like, well, I got to sit here and drink this whole beer. Now you can get in the shower while drinking your beer and getting ready, so you save so much time. It's not a problem; it's a time saver.
It's a time saver.
Well, I know some people that drink their coffee while they're taking a shower.
They drink their coffee while taking a shower.
Yes, while taking a shower.
That's weird.
I'm hoping it's
because usually you're in a closed thing, in a closed beer bottle, it's easy not to get water. But you want water in your coffee.
Well, but then if you have hot coffee and a warm shower, it keeps your coffee hotter, right? Wouldn't it? It wouldn't.
I can see during a bath.
During a bath.
If I take a bath ever, I like to do I always have a cup of coffee there, some nice candles. Some soft music.
Yeah,
little rose petals.
Little rose petals.
A bath bomb. He's into the bath bombs.
Listen,
it's the only kind of bomb he actually really loves.
That's true.
But he keeps buying the cocoa bombs. He's putting in there.
Yeah.
Those are awesome.
So you can drink his water.
My kids love those. I think that's the coolest thing.
Those things are kind of fun.
I like the bath bombs.
Explode with the marshmallows.
I buy my kids those bath bombs all the time. There's one that's like multicolored. It's awesome.
Did the girls like the Lady Gaga cookies?
Yeah, well, not really.
No.
They think it's a little strange.
They don't like
too
the
sophisticated
green?
too sophisticated for our taste.
No green food for the girls?
Yeah, I mean, they like the middle of it.
Which is the green part, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But they didn't like the cookie part.
Well,
So
That's the best part of
my girls. My girls like someone gave us one of those big cookies with the frosting all over it, which I can't stand the frosting. Or like, I'm like, why would you wreck a perfectly good cookie?
Right.
The way they eat it though is they scrape the frosting off and don't eat the cookie.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm like,
save the cookie for
that's
you.
so nasty. Like frosting is just pure sweet sugar. It's horrible. I'm like, can they just give me a cookie without the frosting?
How many ounces is a cup? Well, let's see. We got 10.
I put 10 in here, and that fills it up about halfway. Honestly, maybe a little bit more halfway. So this is probably an 18 to 20 ounce cup.
I think it's 16.
I think it's way bigger than that. 22.
22 ounces?
21.653 ounces.
Huh?
I have no idea, but I just want to be right.
Oh, well, then he doesn't know. He couldn't see without his glasses anyway.
That is true. I hate that. I'm like, man, my phone sucks. And then I got glasses. I'm like, man, these phones really have gotten to high definition. I'm like, they're really blurry. I'm like, I couldn't believe, I fought forever to believe that it was my vision. There was no way I was going to let it be my vision.
So, Paula, how can people bring clothes to you?
They can stop by any day they want, Wednesday through Sunday. Wednesday through Saturday, I'm there 10 to 6, Sunday noon to 4. I ask that they just come in clean, neat, folded, or on hangers.
Not just in garbage bags and
no,
throw it at you.
Not in a garbage
pick out if there's
bag.
anything you want.
Yeah, not in a garbage bag. I don't do that. But yeah, I'll go through it and I'll give you back whatever I don't think will sell, or I can donate it for you. Yeah, it's that easy.
Is there any items that are selling better than others right now?
So dresses always sell really well at my store. Sal loves a good dress. He wears them all the time. But dresses, and then right now casual wear. Those women are not buttoning and zippering. They're wearing stretch pants. So, and jewelry. I do well with jewelry. Purses. I have some high-end purses over at the store. If you love your ladies, come get that Louis Vuitton over at my store, or the Burberry bag.
Can you buy online?
You can, but I'm not really great at the online stuff.
But your website is what is it?
It's Paula's Couture Consignment.
Couture for you folks out there is Couture.
Oh, thank you. Look at you. Yeah. I'm trying to think, what else do we need to tell you? That's pretty much it. It's pretty straightforward. I go through everything really fast. It's a 90-day consignment. You make 40%.
Is there a phone number?
630-425-3196.
If I have a big collection, will you come to the house and go
I
through
will. I'll go through.
Like estates or something?
Yep. I will.
There you go. So that makes it easy.
And if it's a little bit older, if it's vintage, I do some vintage. So I personally like vintage, so I'll always look at that too. So my rules are a little loose. It's the beauty of owning your own business. I get to decide for myself.
It's the best part of owning a business. That's funny. I was trying to explain at my job that I still work at. They were talking about like, what's the advantage? And I said, the one thing is, it's really nice to be able to fire clients. Like, I don't get to do that here because I have a responsibility to you, right, to try to collect every dollar I can. But I'm like, if I get someone that I feel like trying to do business with and their integrity lacks, gone. I don't bother with them. They're done. If they're crazy, ridiculous request, it's done. You don't have to deal with it. I'm like, the one nice thing is you have the right to fire clients anytime, because a lot of times clients, just unprofitable clients who cause more problems or more headaches than they're worth. When you work for somebody else, you can't fire them.
That's
Here,
true.
yeah, you own your own business. You get to it's just not a good client.
Yeah, I get fired every day. 5 o'clock I get fired, and then I get rehired at 10 o'clock in the morning.
It can't stop you from coming in here. You love this place.
Yeah. Well, I mean, great people, TV's on, the cool breeze.
Big pile of
sandy
candy.
ditch.
And the coffee's pretty good too.
Yeah, the coffee's pretty good.
Coffee's the best.
It, especially if you see us roasting like a dark roast, to how that whole back area gets pretty smoky.
Nothing there when people come in. I love when people come in the spring,
place is
summer, and they're like,
smoked.
I smelled the coffee. I had to come down here. I could smell it coming across the river.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
I always apologize to my customers because there's always take-home samples at my store of this.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell them right up front, I'm like, I'm sorry because all I did was give you a very nice habit.
If you guys don't know out there, Paula's is right around the corner from us.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you come to visit Paula, come visit us right around the corner. We're in the same parking lot. She's just right around the corner from us. If you come visit us, go visit Paula.
That's how you end up with a weird fashion girl in the middle of Gun Barrel Coffee.
Yeah. I mean, technically, if I went through that wall,
Oh yeah,
we're right there.
The side of that wall. That's right.
Yeah.
It's nice. If I ever have a weird man in the store, I can just knock on the wall. Sal will come check on me.
He's sleeping.
Yeah, if I'm not seeing him.
Bot, come in. That's what he yells. Come in.
We got enough doorbells and chimes in that thing to wake up the dead if we had to. Never been caught yet. So, what was you have people working with you?
I have a couple girls that help me out, friends. So, but pretty much it's me there most days.
What's a security guard?
And
Every day.
Yeah. It's Sal.
She has armed security there.
Yeah. Most of the time when we get bored, one of us will go to each other's shop and talk for a few minutes.
Yeah.
How'd you end up in that shop there, in that space there?
Honestly, we were looking all over for a great place and couldn't find anything that was really working for us. And at the time, I had somebody that was helping me out starting up the store. And Main Street had been in that location. And he looked around and said, how about this spot? I kind of like this. They were willing to move. They were actually considering moving anyway, so it worked out for them. I like my spot because I get to stare at the river all day.
You do have a good view.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, you can see something.
I get a great view.
All we get is a parking lot.
Yeah, mine's really pretty. I stand out there and look at the river, and in the summer I'll pop the door open and have fresh air in, and
bees
nice.
And birds. And
no, I got a screen.
Now you do.
I got a screen.
Oh, it is a nice location where it is nice to be able to walk out during the day and go stand next to the river.
Yeah.
Especially in the summer because we're right on the bike path, so you get massive amount of traffic. Everybody's just out there having a good time, happy.
Yeah.
It is really nice rather than being just in some industrial park or some retail space somewhere where we just look at parking lot all day.
Yeah, it is a nice view. I like that. And even right now in the winter with the ice out there and the ducks, I can't believe how long a duck can hold its head underwater. I had no idea until having that space.
Did you count how long?
I did not count, but it's quite some time. The little man that comes to visit me, my little 3-year-old, he'll be stand and watch the ducks. And it's quite some time that they'll spend underwater. Long enough that you're like, is that thing going to pop back up or not?
Do the geese put their head under the water too?
I don't know. But there's a really mean seagull that stole the fish.
But they eat most of the grass that's on land.
Yeah.
Where the ducks eat most of the seaweed.
Crap all over by us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, horrible. Like that's the worst. Like in the summers when you try to walk out there, you're like, oh, it's like just landmines walking through a field of landmines.
Oh, especially underneath that bridge.
Yeah, I have a broom that I dedicate just for sweeping my little walkway.
Then she lets me use it inside.
It's so glamorous being your own store owner.
Yes. There's all the other parts that come with it.
Vacuuming, cleaning, dusting.
Clean your own clean toilets. So go clean toilets at home. Come to work, clean toilets, clean up everything after everybody. Yeah. But you know what? I think if you own a business, I think you're just wired for that.
It is, yeah.
It's a different thing that makes you want to own a business and not, some of the stuff for me is patience. Like sometimes at my job I get frustrated. Like, let's do something. Let's move forward. It's like it takes a committee to form a committee to make a simple decision. You're like, and sometimes bad habits are formed quickly in companies, and like you can't change it. Like, why are we doing this? Because we've always done it that way, no matter how unreasonable or ridiculous it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't have to, and it's politics every day in the corporate world. Whereas you own your own business, you get to get away from all that bullshit and just focus on the mission and what you want to do.
One of my favorite things was at the store that I used to work at, she had the same playlist for all 6 years that I worked there. So I knew what time it was based on what song was playing. God. So my favorite thing is that I don't have to listen to that same damn playlist. I can't even listen to the songs that were on that playlist.
That's how I have bad memories.
It does, yeah. If I have to listen to Tim McGraw sing about that barbecue stain on his white T-shirt one more time, I might freak out.
That's
and I know it's only 1 o'clock then.
Exactly, and I still have hours to go.
Oh.
I did a Christmas show at Elburn, and we're in this little tiny building, and they had a loop of like maybe it was 9 songs for 12 hours a day. Finally by Sunday I cracked. I'm like please. I'm like, please, I cannot hear it one more time. I'm like, just put something else on. And they had like a bartender out there. I'm like, I'll give you my phone, my Spotify. You just go through every what you want. I'm like, it's got to be like, it's like, I would love to play something different. I'm like, as bad as it was for me, it was even worse for her. She's been there same amount of time. I'm like, it's the same 9 Christmas songs over and over. I'm like, even the people who are coming in here don't want to hear, the same song 18,000 times. Mommy Kissing Santa Claus is good once, but not 4, 5, 6 times a day. Like, I can't believe that more people don't go crazy. There's not more people going postal in malls during Christmas time. Like,
and you have to listen to the same thing
every day.
Oh yeah, it was like when I worked at Ace Hardware, you would hear that same music because they play in that loop too. Like, oh crap, how many times I heard this song?
I think they're probably part of the reason people go crazy. We use music as a tactic in war.
Yeah, right.
You should blast songs at them. So someone figured out somewhere that music can drive somebody nuts and make you surrender, give up your will to live.
Right.
But we do it intentionally to our people.
Well, most time you just have music going at your shop. Most time. Sometimes you have the TV on.
I have the TV on some. When it's quieter, I'll turn it on. It's nice to have the change. And right about 4 o'clock is my cracking point. That's when I turn to the TV. Before that, I'll have music on. And now I've made multiple playlists. The nice part is just being able to change it and not listen to the same 6 songs. And I like Tim McGraw. I just don't want to hear about his barbecue stain.
For the 335th time.
So I guess that's not on the playlist.
That is not on my playlist.
Yeah, I know what I'm getting you for Christmas.
I'm getting her a T-shirt with a barbecue stain on it.
Yeah. That would be kind of fun.
You're getting her a Tim McGraw CD. It only has 1 song on it. Just burn that same song.
This is how I know I'm loved.
15 tracks of the same song. We'll put it in this. We'll put it in the CD player. We'll get her a CD player, and we'll break the CD player.
Oh,
it just stays on.
That's torture.
That's like owning a VCR where you have the movie stuck in there. You have to keep watching the same movie over and over again.
And we'll hide it in somewhere that she can't find.
So I can't find
the speakers and the.
We just get a Bluetooth speaker.
If you played it loud enough, I could probably hear it through your wall.
We'll just get a Bluetooth speaker, hide it in there somewhere, and have the player over here. So she can never turn it off and can't find it.
See, I threatened to come over here with a Starbucks coffee cup just to be an ass. I should have done it.
We'll just burn that. We'll just burn that cup.
You can tell we're neighbors when we can tease each other.
Yes.
There's nothing in this coffee cup. I should have had something in there.
Well, you poured whiskey in there. I don't know why.
Gotta get ready for the party tonight. Got a pregame.
So where'd you grow up in?
Really Wheaton and Warrenville. So I'm pretty much Illinois girl. My family's all in Ohio, just outside of Cleveland. But yeah, we moved here when I was like 8.
From Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
You remember anything about Ohio?
Well, I go back to visit, so yeah, I liked it. But my mom says I'm a flatlander.
Isn't Ohio pretty much flat?
No, Ohio's beautiful. It's got hills.
Does it?
Mm-hmm. It's much prettier.
It's flat.
No, it's got rolling hills.
Oh.
This is
Where?
flat. I was in Cuyahoga, so it had rolling hills.
If you take 90, it's just a straight line. They didn't have to go.
It's a big fat
They
state.
didn't have to go around one mountain. They're just like just a straight line. It's like it's curvy through. Then as soon as you get to Indiana and Ohio, just go straight all the way to get to Pennsylvania.
Well, that's the. Oh, I'm going to show my age. Freeway.
The freeway, that new freeway.
Well, back in the day.
That's just like you can just put the car in cruise and just fall asleep once you hit Indiana, and then like, you'll be wake up in Pennsylvania when you hit the mountains.
Yeah, there's no mountains, but it's got hills by Cleveland, where I'm from.
Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in Cleveland, we found a great barbecue place in downtown.
There's some good food.
I can't remember what it was called. It was a famous place, but it was awesome because they make the barbecue sandwich.
Famous days.
Barbecue pork, no. It would be barbecue pork.
He doesn't even miss a beat.
Coleslaw, and then fries all on top of the sandwich. They would come it would be like this tall as a famous place, and we went there and like it was really good. Like that was the best part of Cleveland. I remember when they were like three times in a week we went there to go eat.
There's some good food there.
I didn't think it before I went to Cleveland was like a great barbecue place, but like there's like a whole bunch of barbecue spots in Cleveland. It's a huge thing there, and it's really good. They make really awesome sandwiches.
Do they do a Cleveland rub or is it vinegar base?
I don't go to the same massage joints you go to.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what a Cleveland rub is.
Well, it's the
I have an idea what a Cleveland rub might be, but
That's a cleft hand.
Can I tap out?
No, there is no tapping out. That's the best part of this. Nope, there is no relief. You gotta be into the end.
Yeah, I was just saying, this is where my mask comes in. I just wear it across my
The rabbit hole's here. We fall down and where we end up, who knows?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's why it's coffee and bullshit, because there's no holds barred.
Yeah, I mean, you only got another 29 minutes of this.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Hell will be longer. So this is easy.
Yeah.
This is practice.
This is
practice for hell.
Anybody got any questions for
Paula.
For Paula?
This is Paula.
You know who she is.
For whoever this lady is
Whoever
next
this
to me.
lady is next to me that's been our neighbor for
3 years?
We have no idea.
almost 3 years.
She was in the parking lot staring at the sky, walking around in circles, so we invited her.
No, they had nobody lined up. They're like, hey, you.
We gave her a script.
She's trying to sell us this African garment.
Yeah.
She's like, you guys want to buy this garment? We're like, why don't you come in and be on the podcast?
I actually thought Brian would just look fantastic. And I tried to tell Sal I was bringing him a dress. He suggested you.
I have no shame.
He almost, he said he'll put a fashion show on tonight.
I'm there. I'll model. I'll do it for tips. I'll put the G-string on, little tips. Can I get tips at the fashion show?
Just the tip.
Just a tip.
Oh.
No, I want to tap out. Oh,
No.
man. You're right. Tapping up, and now you're joining the conversation. See, it happens.
This is terrible.
You give anybody enough coffee and whiskey, they'll follow you down the rabbit hole.
Oh, no.
I learned nothing from doing this podcast. It's that.
I killed my cup.
Well, you're supposed to make it last throughout the whole show.
I can't do that with coffee. I drink it, and I drink a lot of it. And I like the nice, strong, dark roast that you make here.
Yeah.
That's always...
Well, most time you always get the 0 dark 30.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens if Aaron doesn't have any?
I get mad. Then we have cheap coffee.
Hear that? She's mad.
Then we have cheap coffee.
Sacrilege.
Right? Then I usually say, I'll just wait. I'll get coffee when I go in.
It's nice to be next door to a coffee place.
It is very nice to be next door to a
It
coffee
makes it
place.
easy.
And then you got, we have Bridget upstairs.
We have
Red
Red
Hive.
Hive upstairs.
Yeah.
And we have Limestone, Joy and Leah, and Real Pro.
Yeah, Real Pro. I probably tend to, probably see you and Brian from Real Pro most, yeah.
Yeah. And
Just-
Brian's always outside.
Yeah. Especially during the summertime when everybody, you can be out there as long as you're watching your door, see who comes in.
Yeah. I like the summer. I got a flower pot so I can pop my door open and stand outside because I don't do well inside all day. I like to be out doing stuff.
It does suck to be stuck inside all
It
day.
does.
Yeah.
And when it's just you working there.
Oh, you can go crazy. Just
Yeah.
nobody to talk to is the worst for me.
Right?
I can't handle that. So
Yeah.
we were just talking the other day, like, if I thought about, younger, about the perfect job, I would have been in like a mailman in like San Diego or LA. Beautiful weather, you get to be outside
You
every
picked
day.
a nice place to do it.
I'm not going to do it here. Here is punishment. And in some place where it's nice, where you got the great weather, that's like the best job in the world. You get a pension, you get full benefits. The pay's not phenomenal, but it's not bad. You get to be outside all day.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that would have been the ideal situation.
And San Diego is usually a pretty constant temperature.
Yeah.
I've worked outside enough in this miserable, horrible weather to not want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Stood outside for 8-9 hours in the 30 below and just realized how miserable that is.
Oh, thanks.
I still remember there was a job I did for the IT company I worked for that they had me dig a trench at sub-zero temperatures.
Oh.
And I'm like, seriously, you want me to go out here and dig a trench? It was no fun. Even though I had the pick, the shovel, and luckily I had a
Frozen ground.
There was another person with us that was helping, but still, 2 people trying to dig out this trench and the frozen. Oh, it sucked. For 6 hours I was there doing it or whatever it was, because we're constantly taking breaks. It's cold and the ground is tough, and then the mud and all that other stuff's on the road.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day it kind of warmed up, and then got bitched out about having mud on the road.
A mess you made.
It was frozen before, Looked like big cow pies.
Yeah, digging holes is not a fun job.
No.
My mother always told me, every time we drive by, we're in the car with the kids, she's like, see what those guys are doing? She's like, see, they're digging ditches. That's what you have to do if you don't go to college. That's what she told me every day of my life. Like, she's always like, if you don't go to college, you got to dig ditches. That's hard work. Then when I was a senior in high school, I got a job with a friend who owned a construction company, and I spent 9 months digging ditches so I could afford to go to college. Like, this seems like an oxymoron. Like, I'm supposed to dig ditches, but, it's like, that was...
Go to college.
I dug ditches and broke up bad cement. And that was, like, the hardest thing I ever did. And I'm like, it was funny because I worked with an all-Mexican crew. They're like, see, dumbass, if you don't go to college and get good grades, you'll be back here with us. You don't want to be back here with us. One of the coolest things they ever told me was my last day was, we don't ever want to see you back here again.
That's from Good Will Hunting, too.
Is it?
Yeah, I think he says that, too. He always hopes he doesn't see
Oh,
you.
yeah, so one day he'll get up and be gone. But those guys told me, like, then don't ever fucking come back here. And they were good friends. Like, I became really good friends with them. Their thing was, like, don't ever come back here.
You have a good rock for your door?
Well, we have good
Someone
rocks.
keeps stealing our good rock.
Somebody keeps stealing our good
A
rock.
good rock.
Every time we find a good rock,
That holds our door.
we'll go do a show and you come back Sunday to our own load. We're like, where the hell is the good rock? Like, who steals the good rock?
Little do they know I have a pile.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because on each side of the door is all those rocks
Yeah.
that come. Like, there's got to be millions of good rocks. But every time you put one, it's like the door closes right over. You're like, shit.
Gotta get a bigger one.
Then if you find that one that works so well,
Yeah, we had that one that worked really well, and then it's gone.
I don't know if there's a rock thief.
Well, I think some of the time, so like especially in the wintertime, they, shovel and then it goes away. You're like,
Okay, where do they go in the summer then?
Probably in the river. Maybe they're using it for skipping.
Yeah, I was just going to say somebody's skipping rocks.
One good rock. Like, just leave that one rock.
Well, we just need to paint the rock.
Just put it in its own little box that says
Good
good.
rock.
It just says good rock.
You think someone won't take the painted rock? That's the one they won't take, right? The
They won't.
The one's painted.
We'll paint it red with a biological hazard sign on it.
That I like. COVID.
So all
put
you-
COVID inside.
Keep it inside.
That's too easy.
That takes like energy and thinking and forethought.
That's too easy. Put it inside, the good rock inside. That's like smoking crack.
Right? Then you have to think
I
about it.
much prefer the idea of it in its own special little box outside that says good rock.
Yeah, right. So someone comes
Somebody-
down the bike path like, oh, it's good rock
Oh,
there.
that's a good rock.
They're like, no, that's good rock. Is that a 20 piece? I'll smoke that.
Well, I guess we could buy a little buck and just put good rocks. That'd be hilarious. See if anybody ever takes it.
Yes, they will. I just have a feeling they'll take it. If we're losing one rock at a time, yeah, they'll take it. Although the bicycle stayed there forever at the bike rack.
It did. That bike stayed there forever.
It took like 2 years for it to start losing parts. So I was pretty proud of the people at Batavia. Like, this is a good, safe community. Shows you can have a bicycle locked at the bike rack for 2 years.
And
Nobody-
No, it was good shape when we started here. It was in really good shape. Looked like
It
a
was
brand new
okay
bike.
shape. It was
But there was not a part gone from that bike. For
little by
2
little.
years. Then finally, some I think one person found it, and they were like, they'd come by and just take apart, and come back like a week later, take another part.
Somebody took the front wheel.
Yeah, I'm like, but for 2 years, like a brand new looking bike just sat
I don't
there
remember.
untouched.
Did the lock get cut?
Eventually, the bike was gone.
I
Yeah.
don't remember.
I
I
think
there
someone,
was a lock on it.
I think someone came and cut the lock.
Yeah.
But I think it was someone from the apartments because they were complaining that they couldn't lock their bikes up because it was taking up so much space.
I don't know.
Yeah, I do think you're right about that.
I think the people complained like no one's using it. Can we get rid of that bike? So I think that's when they finally came and removed it. But it lasted a very long time.
Well, the only biggest complaint, especially with our trash thing out there, is people need to break down their boxes.
Yes.
I'm not going to say who.
I don't get why that's such a big deal.
Just break down your boxes. That's pretty easy.
I don't like where they leave the dumpster because they like to leave it right next to my door.
Well, I keep telling the guy, here's a 10 spot, put it by her front door.
We don't want to buy ours.
Thanks, yeah.
We're food products.
So $15 and move it closer to Gun Barrel for me.
Whenever we do Instagram pictures, we always roll the dumpster up to your back doors. And
Nice.
it says tag Paula's coat, and we take the pictures with the dumpster.
Thanks.
So that people recognize. No, it's to help you. So when people are coming down the bike path, like that dumpster's Paula's. They recognize it right away.
Yeah.
Right, we don't want that
Especially
associated
if
with
it's
our-
overflowing.
Right, we don't want that associated with our coffee. For
Yes.
God's sakes, Paul. We have class over here. No, I think it's funny though. Like that's like the one nice thing, not breaking down the boxes. Because then when you need to use the dumpster tomorrow, you can't because it's already full of your boxes you threw in there yesterday.
Oh yeah, because they don't break down boxes.
It's just funny the little things that
Well,
makes every life better, but some people just can't take 5 seconds to do.
well, I mean, I know it takes a little time. Maybe the people are too young to break down boxes sometimes.
You can't trust them with a knife.
Could be.
Could be. That could be. Maybe they haven't had a class for a knife safety. Well, they probably wouldn't use a pocket knife. Not very many people carry a pocket knife. What are those ones that are retractable?
Razor blade, box cutter.
Box cutter.
You can't have a box cutter anymore.
Yeah, you
Homeland
can.
Security be all over you.
We're not taking a
The
plane.
only reason you have a box cutter is because
You're not taking a plane
you're
to
about
throw away
you're
your
about to go
trash.
try to kidnap a plane, steal a plane.
3 ounces of water. You can't have nail clippers. Like my nail clippers will take over a whole plane. How's that going to happen?
None of it makes sense.
I know.
When people panic, nothing makes sense. Just like when the COVID panic came, nobody knew what to do, and the rules were different everywhere.
Yeah.
Things were insane. I mean, listen, this far into it, and the CDC last week is 2 masks are better than 1. Not because it gives more protection, because it holds the first one on tighter. Well, I can release a statement: 10 masks are now better than 2. My new study found 10 masks are better than 2.
Or you can have a new study saying COVID is just a bunch of bullshit.
Recycling day is hell.
Yes, well, we know they don't recycle.
No, that's another thing.
Oh yeah, recycling is hell.
I don't think so. You do it at home, don't you?
Yeah.
For us, our recycling
I'm just
bin
saying,
was a huge
here,
savings.
here if they had a recycling part, it'd be great.
Yeah, the recycling bin at my house.
How come we don't have a
saves
recycling
me
thing
saves me
here?
a ton of garbage.
Up.
Nice.
Here, so
I'm Paulaholic. So
Let's see.
stop down to Paula's and get your Paulaholic wine glass.
Can you
let's
see
see.
it?
Well, let me get up from this. What does it look like on camera?
Yeah, you can see it. You can see it. Thank you, Christine.
There you go.
That's a nice wine glass.
It's
great.
Your wife's saying you haven't put out the recycling in 2 months.
Well,
Yeah, that's normal.
yeah, I don't get up that early.
My wife takes out the garbage because we don't take it out at night anymore. Because
Raccoons.
raccoons, idiots like to drive by, run over the cans. So we have a couple.
You stop ticking off the neighbors. They don't do that.
When it's young kids, they're doing 70 miles an hour down my street. I have an issue with that when my kids are out there playing.
Yeah.
I tend to confront people when they do that shit. So
Well, I think it'd be kind of
problem.
funny if you ran a rope around the other side and then the people are coming and you just pull that rope and the trash can goes right in the street.
I was gonna buy one. I was gonna buy one of the.
All of a sudden.
I was gonna buy one of the spike strips. So wait for them to come when when I hear them like they're in 5th gear. By the time they get to my house from the end of the street, just throw a spike strip out there. Start flattening tires.
100 years ago, when I was a kid, my father was complaining. We lived with a field behind us, and there was a dirt bike actually that was running back and forth. My dad worked nights, so he liked it quiet during the day. Couldn't stand it. He called the cops. They wouldn't come. So he took a box of nails and threw it out there. But then the police showed up and drove down. My dad's like, I don't know how those nails got there.
Pretty smart.
Yeah. He also clipped all the little noisemakers on everybody's big wheels so it didn't make any sound.
That was the best part of a big wheel.
And he clipped the music on the ice cream guy's van.
Jeez.
Yeah, he really liked it quiet.
Were you like in prison when you like in the morning? You're like, don't say anything. Be quiet.
No, he managed always to get away with it.
Don't make any noise. Dad is sleeping.
Yeah.
The truck's just driving around with no music.
Mm-hmm.
The guy has to
That
hum
means
it.
they have ice cream.
Now he got mad because the guy would, and I think it was done on purpose. He'd always park right in front of our house. So
Well, the thing is, the song, when they play the song, that means they're out of ice cream.
is that what it means?
That's what my parents told me.
Yeah,
Whenever
I
they play
like
a song,
that.
that's how they let you know that they're out of ice cream. If there's no music, then they have ice cream.
Yeah.
And when my kids were little, they didn't play music, but they had a bell. So he would just, Lily called him the ding ding man because he'd ring the bell.
Well, they used to be the ice cream. Those guys that used to fill up on the ice cream used to be right there on the corner of 31 and Prairie in St. Charles, where that gas station is now. It's a Mexican restaurant.
If you say so. They outlawed the ice cream man in Geneva.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
Yeah, because it was dangerous to kids. They did that when I was like
Did not
10 or 11.
yeah, that's right. Because
They stopped. You couldn't have the ice cream man
that's kind
anymore.
of stupid. Because I used to. I
It
think we
really
used to
sucked
enjoy
because
it.
one lived in my neighborhood.
Rojo.
He lived at the end of the street. And I was like, it was awesome because like you got to see ice cream man every day because he'd run his route. He'd come home every day. So it was like
Which house was it?
Ended there.
at the very end of our neighborhood, the
Yeah.
same street that our friend Dave lived on.
Okay.
West, right before you get to 38. You go down Dave Street, right before 38. There's a little alley there, gravel alley, right there.
Dang.
And it was like, it was nice. Every night you knew the ice cream man was coming to the house. So it was like at 5:30, man, I was like, Mommy's ready.
Jay, I bought a brand new can, like 30
$30.
bucks a pop. Drunk ass neighbor mowed them down. Very first day. And
Cinder
Cinder
blocks
blocks.
between them. That'll slow you down.
yeah.
What is Rojo?
Road, that's the thing that used to be the name of the place for the ice cream
Oh,
guy in St. Charles.
I didn't
Before
know
my
that.
time.
Right.
No, it is.
Before my
It's,
time.
yeah,
You probably older
You-
folks remember that.
you and Amanda about the same age.
No, she's way older than me.
No,
Yeah, she's like 4 or 5 years older than me.
she's 75.
75. Yeah.
So,
So about 4 or 5 years.
yeah, 4 or 5 years
About
older.
4 or 5 years
Yeah.
older.
Yeah, 75. Yeah.
4 or 5 years, he makes it sound like, you know.
Well, I'm 34 now. So that makes it kind of like we're 30 years apart. It's hard to hang out with senior citizens. The references and stuff I just don't get. Talk about stuff in the 80s. I have no idea. I don't even know what they're talking about.
Still watching
Disco
the
Fever.
kids,
You know what's crazy? Someone born in 2000 is 21 years old this year.
right?
Yeah.
It's so weird when you walk into a liquor store. It's like, you must have been born in 2000. I'm like,
That's my daughter.
Oh.
I almost I stopped to get beer and I'm like, I almost felt like, hey, your sign is
Your sign's wrong.
I'm like, your sign
no, my daughter's a 2000 baby. She's
your
gonna
sign
be
is
21.
your sign is broken, sir. There's no way someone in 2000 is 21 years old.
I don't think Amanda's happy with you.
What'd she say?
It's just a bunch of.
That's because she can't see the letters to type at her advanced age.
Oh,
And at the nursing home, they cut her off. She's not allowed to swear. They censor everything that comes from the nursing home. Don't worry, Amanda. Dinner's going to be up soon. You can get in line. She likes to line up for dinner a couple hours early. She doesn't really have a lot to do
is
with
it
the
really
home.
mushy too?
Yeah, oh, for her, yeah. She just gums it. A lot of mashed potatoes and oatmeal. That's what she likes. At her age, the work does better for her digestive tract.
You know, I have to go home in a little while.
Yeah, but I don't. I don't have to go there, so
And
it's,
at least it's not you saying it.
right.
That's true.
I don't have to pay the price for for my indiscretions. You do.
Yes.
I go home and my wife, she's not paying attention. She's busy doing books today.
You don't mean telling me she doesn't have the show in the background?
No,
What?
no.
How's she supposed to
She
show us
doesn't want to
support?
listen to any more of him than she
You're
has
right.
to.
You understand? The time I come here, this is my wife's vacation.
She's like,
She's
oh,
she's like,
thank God.
she's like, oh, I have Saturday off. It's like if only there was Saturday school and I could get rid of the kids.
Right?
Like she's been killing her for like since COVID because our kids were going to doing school from home.
Right.
That used to be her 6-hour vacation every day. She dropped the kids off. I'd leave for work. She had 6-7 hours of vacation. Like by like
Quiet time.
oh yeah, by September she's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I can't handle it anymore. I've had enough. I'm like, it's nice to have 6-7 hours off every day, isn't it? I'm like, yeah. It's like she's like, I need my break back. She's like, I got to get these kids back in school.
But they're going every day now, right? Or are they going modified?
Nobody knows. So, listen, our school is so messed up that our older daughter's supposed to be every other day, but then they said she can come every day, but then they'd let us know when that can happen, but then they called the other day and they're like, hey, how come she's not in school today? My wife's like, this is supposed to not be her day. They're like, no, we told you to go every day. She's like, I was waiting for you guys to tell us. They're like, oh, we didn't know we were supposed to tell you. Well,
You
my wife's like,
And she was still doing
No.
the online stuff too?
okay. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so like they have no idea. It changes every day. The funny thing is, our high school there is not very big. I don't know. I don't know how many kids.
You
it
got
is.
like three towns going to it.
It's like 1.5 really, because there's Crystal Lake, so they have their own school. So we're really Lake in the Hills and Algonquin and maybe part of home. So it's really not that big. But the funny thing is, we get reports every day about COVID. They're like, yes, a student has tested positive for COVID. After considerable backtracing, your student has not been affected. So we've had probably about 20 of those since they started going back to school. So there's no way that my kid hasn't been around one of the kids that had it. When there's 20 kids that had it, have had it in the school, they're not that far apart. It's not like it's a 10,000 kid high school or a 5,000 kid high school. So I'm like, why do you even bother sending these? Because how many do you send out to everybody that your kid has not been affected? Your kid has not been affected, and you didn't trace anything.
No, you think they're going to spend the time and trace it back to the...
Think about when we were in high school. If one person in our high school had it, you interacted with that person. You had no choice. You either passed them in the hallways, had a class with them, sat at lunch with them. You did one of those three things, or played football or sport with them. We weren't big enough that you could get away from anybody in class.
I'm just glad mine are 20 and 25. It's all done.
Well, I mean, look, we did poker last week.
Yeah.
We separate ourselves 6 feet apart.
That's right. It's very hard to hear the calls and raises.
Yeah,
dealing was very hard 6 feet
Yes.
apart. Did you? Are your kids out of their house?
Yeah. One lives in Colorado, and she's moving today, actually. She's moving closer to Denver. And then the other one is on her own here in Batavia.
She's leaving...
On a jet plane?
She's not in Pueblo. She's now moving to Castle Rock.
Castle Rock.
Oh.
So 30 minutes outside of Denver.
That's where all the evil stuff happens, according to Stephen King.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Did you ever find... Has she ever been to that restaurant where it has an indoor
No, the
waterfall,
diver, no.
the diver?
No, she
I
did
think
not
that's in
find
Denver. I think it's in Denver.
It's in Denver?
I think so.
That sounds
No,
awesome.
she did not ever find
Denver Airport is the worst airport I've ever been in my life.
Really? I don't
New or
mind
old
it.
one?
The new one. So when we were getting married, we had to do a layover in Denver before we went to Reno. So our plane landed here apparently.
Oh, it's huge.
Our plane took over here, and we had 10 minutes. So I'm with my parents
Oh,
and my
shoot.
wife, dragging all of our bags because we were on a 2-week vacation.
Yeah.
So we had to get all of our bags to get from one side of the
Oh,
airport
yeah, it's
to
bad.
the other. We're on a full sprint to make it like.
Atlanta's
I'm
big
like,
that.
I'm like, this is never ending. I'm like, how much further it can be? You're like, we were down the stairs, then up the stairs, then up the stairs again, then upstairs again, then over. Like, I'm like, Jesus, I've been like the far terminal in O'Hare, but this is insane. Like, it's
a cruise.
It's like a mile and a half inside the airport. Like, it's like being in Vegas, like being in a Vegas casino from one end to the other. It's
Can't
like,
you take a little cart?
Did you see the
Yeah.
big blue horse though?
Mhm.
Outside.
I mean, it's a beautiful airport. Like, it's beautiful, but I'm like, this place is effing huge. The only thing that saved us is when we went there is like, it was like partially open yet. Like, they hadn't even started. Like, they were kind of working out at both airports. So thank God we got there like 10 o'clock at night. It was empty, so we could get through. So there was no traffic. But I'm like, it like never ended. I thought my parents were going to die and have to come back and pick them up. Trying to run through that airport is insane.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Hi, Keith. Jay says Hartfield is awful. That must be in New Jersey.
Or is it Connecticut?
I don't know.
Where's Hartfield? I don't know that one. Atlanta's insane because Atlanta's so busy.
Jay, where is that? In Connecticut? Or it has to be New Jersey. He's from New Jersey.
But Atlanta's nice. Atlanta's got good restaurants, got good stuff in there. It's more modern, so it's set up really nice. I like Atlanta Airport.
Keith says the best coffee ever.
No, Atlanta.
Hartsfield is in Atlanta? So it must be
Is
the...
it Hartsfield? I don't know.
I don't know. Huh?
All I know is
I don't get to travel that much. I just
Origin,
land at the
Midway,
airport and go to the next one.
JFK and LaGuardia. And LAX.
Wow. Where did we go? Did we? I think we landed in JFK before we went to Iraq for a layover there. And it had to be a couple hours layover. So the plane can refuel.
Mm-hmm.
The worst one I've been to is LAX. The neighborhood around LAX is brutal.
Oh yeah, LAX.
Yeah, like you want to get out of that airport and get the hell out of there, because you're at Inglewood like right when you get out of there, and it's not
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. I think I drove once out of there.
He's missed too many flights out of Atlanta. What are you doing that you miss all these flights?
Quit drinking in the bar, Jay. You don't get to stop for drinks all the time.
Well, you guys speak that special language down there, that southern language down there, so they understand you. Can't speak the New Jersey accent. Which I did talk to him today. He didn't sound like he had a New Jersey accent. I don't know. He must be are you a transplant? I don't know. It didn't sound like he had much of New
There's only
Jersey.
parts of New Jersey that have the real hard Jersey accent.
Do you remember the kid who was back in 8th grade who came from New Jersey? He was in my grade?
No.
No? Yeah.
That was probably before my time.
No, it wasn't. You were still around.
Oh.
He lived where, in those apartments in St. Charles. He didn't go to Geneva. Yes, he did. He went to Geneva, but he lived in St. Charles. I don't know how that worked out. I don't remember.
Jay's from Washington.
Ah, Spokane, Washington. No wonder you don't have an accent then.
He's a West Coaster.
He's a West Coaster.
West Coaster.
But it's not Spokane. It's Spokane.
Spokane.
Spokane?
Yeah.
So,
It's only Midwesterners that say Spokane.
Not a fan of Jersey, Jay?
It's Jersey J.
Bridge and Tunnel. You're part of the Bridge and Tunnel crowd. Jim Tay and Laundry. That's all you do, right?
I'm sorry for the new nickname I just gave you, Jay.
Jersey J.
Jersey
That's
J.
awesome. Jersey J now.
Oh, man.
Now with
Make
that,
friends.
with that, now he can run for governor.
There you go. Jersey J. I love the Jersey accent. If I hear it on the phone all the time when I call for my job. Like those guys, like I love it. It's like every wannabe tough guy on the phone. Yeah. It's not a yeah. Nah, not gonna do that. Yeah. It's like it's.
He said that too.
What do you say?
Western Yank.
Yeah, Western.
Yeah.
Kind of a.
They gotta hate him in Jersey. It's gotta be tough. Like
Yeah.
they don't like any accent that's not their accent. Like if you're not native, they don't want to talk to you.
Well, a good buddy of mine who was from Philadelphia, Burns, I don't know if he's watching this, but he moved to Jersey to work for the railroad down there or something. I don't know, maybe the public. But he has that South Philly accent for a white guy. It probably blends in pretty good with a Jersey one.
Have you
Go ahead.
ever been told you have a Chicago accent?
Oh yeah.
By people who don't live around here, yeah, I don't know why.
I was in Minnesota with my mom we were doing a home show up there for a week. The guy next to us was a native Minnesotan, and he had that real hard like Canadian accent. Like my mom had trouble understanding him. I talked to him, but funny thing is my mom was upset because he came up to my mom like midweek. He goes because I talked to him, and he kind of just looked at me blankly. I'm like, I couldn't understand what the hell he was saying. But
He
apparently
couldn't understand you.
He came up to my mom in the midweek. He goes, you know. You have a Chicago accent, but your son, it's so thick I can't understand what he's saying.
Oh my God.
My mom was so mad because she's grown up in Chicago. I've only been a suburban kid my whole life, and she's so mad. She's like, "What are you talking about?" Like, I got a Chicago accent. He's like, so I notice it more when I talk to other people because I talk to people from all over the country on a daily basis. And one of the things I picked up is not everybody hears it as duh. Mm-hmm. It's not duh. It's tuh. I'm going to Chicago. Tuh. It's more of a TA.
Yeah, you're right.
Tuh.
Yeah.
And I had a guy once on the phone. It's like from some guy he goes. What is tuh? I'm like, what? It's like, what is tuh? You keep saying tuh before you say stuff. I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, he's like,
What tuh?
He's like, you keep saying tuh. I'm like, I'm trying to think back to our conversation. I'm like, I'm sorry, two. I'm going to the airport. We're going to be at I was like, that's the funniest thing I ever heard because I never realized until I heard someone say it back to me. And then my favorite phrase is, God, now I'm thinking what it is now. It's not, it's kind of like saying, what did you say? But it's, I understood you, but I hate you, you Yankee son of a bitch. I got to think of what the word is they say. And then bless my heart. Oh, bless your heart.
Bless your heart.
Yeah. That's an FU.
Yeah, that's
an FU.
I learned that from like the nicest southern lady. She's like, oh, you know,
bless your heart.
And Jay, he works so hard, but he's never gonna get there. Oh, bless his little heart. I'm like, I'm like, is that really just like a sarcastic like F you? Like, yep, that's what it is. It's the southern play way of saying go F yourself.
And all I can think of is two Utes as
Two
you're
Utes.
saying that. Yeah,
Utes.
they're going back to
to use. To use.
What's a Ute?
Oh, so that's the term. Do what? Do what? Do what? Do what is I heard what you said, but I can't believe it. And I hate you, you Yankee son of a bitch. Do what? I'm like, hey Jack, how are you? Do what? I'm like, I didn't say to do anything. I didn't get it like that. That's what it was. It was basically like an FU Yankee. That's why it's so funny. I don't hear as much anymore nowadays, but 10 years ago, man, it's like as soon as you go to the phone and you don't have that accent, do what? And they believe that I talk 1,000 miles an hour. You couldn't understand anything.
They haven't listened to the people down in Puerto Rico. Especially my old motor sergeant. Jesus Christ. That Puerto Rican accent, the guy talked like 100 miles a minute. You're like, what? Get the other Puerto Rican guy, like, what did he say? He goes, I don't know. I mean, I couldn't even translate it. But that was funny. But Jay says he can't stand North New Jersey or New York accents.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So you're in love with the governor in New York then, right? But
the closer you get to New York, the harder and thicker that accent gets.
Yeah.
On both sides, like the bridge there, it's like... It's funny because people from New York hate people from Jersey.
Yeah.
Because there's a low class that can't be in New York, right? But that's how they look at it.
But the good thing about New Jersey, they have a higher percentage of black bears than anybody else in the States.
That's
Black
one of the things I
bears?
look for.
Yeah, black bears.
They show that on Realtor.com. That's one of the
That
things.
is.
3-bedroom, 3-bathroom,
3
black
bears.
bears.
3 black bears?
Black bears per capita.
Black
It's always
bears
like,
per
how many black
capita.
bears per capita are you looking for? I'm like, I want 0 polar bears and just 2 black bears, maybe a brown bear.
Yeah.
Just one random brown. Well, there's areas in New Jersey that are absolutely beautiful. A lot of lake property that's absolutely gorgeous.
Adding a random.
What'd I say?
Adding a random grocery store. What's Amanda talking about?
I have no idea. Aldi's, Myers, Dominic's.
Just go along with
I
it.
was just
Yes.
She doesn't know what she's saying. She's just
Amanda, what you talking about?
at her advanced age, they're just randoms coming out. This is what old timers looks like on a screen.
How about my favorite? Oh, Massachusetts whole accent. Massachusetts.
That's one I hate the most.
Yeah, that's
Not Massachusetts, but the Baltimore. The Baltimore is the worst.
Baltimore
Oh,
accents.
I can't. Those people. Oh.
Jay cannot stand Como, a d-bag.
I hate both the brothers.
Both
Both brothers are
brothers.
assholes. It's 2 assholes that can't.
Let me show you this big Q-tip we're gonna put up your nose.
Right.
there.
Well, the best part was, hey, let's murder a bunch of old people, then claim that we're heroes for getting rid of all the COVID. We stuck them all in nursing homes and murdered them all, and then talk about what a great job we did. And then I have COVID. But look at me. I'm curling 60-pound weights at home. They're two just.
Paula got turned on.
That's usually me fade out.
They're just 2 douches. Oh God, to listen to either one of them talk is just makes me want to throw up.
I think he's talking about something.
But they're ridiculous.
We getting anything good on
No comments.
Instagram?
Just
No
we got
comments.
people watching, but
No.
no comments on there.
Paula, your fan base sending you messages like you should really be off this show by now. Or
No, I'm not getting too many.
not getting too many.
No, I'm not getting too many. It's pretty quiet next door. I'm thinking.
Yeah. Does she know the secret knock in case you need help?
No.
No?
She does.
Shaving a haircut. That's the universal,
Yeah, that's there.
right?
She's probably over there listening to Seether.
Seether?
Yeah, that's her music of choice when I'm not around.
What's Seether?
I don't know. It's loud.
Is it like heavy metal?
Yeah.
Is it?
Too loud or too old?
Yeah, I am too old.
Me too.
I don't mind.
Me
I have
too.
no trouble owning it. I'm fine with that.
My kids are watching a movie. I was in the kitchen. I'm like, why is there so much screaming on that? Like, you don't realize that kids will be like, if someone figured out that like kids love screaming. Like,
Yeah.
every cartoon they
Sal
watch,
knows all about
just
that.
screaming. I'm like, I don't remember cartoons screaming when we were kids.
You know what? I prefer because the new cartoons are just
They're
not
ridiculous.
that. Some are good.
They destroyed Tom and Jerry. They're best friends now. They never hurt each other anymore. The Roadrunner works with that
That's
coyote
okay.
to accomplish missions. Even my kids hate like Tom and Jerry now because they started watching some of the older ones. They're like, what happened to this? This is the dumbest cartoon
We
ever.
figured that out, Jay. We were just didn't want to read it. New Yorkers.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, because like there's like a what's the one with the superheroes?
Teen Titans.
Teen Titans. I like that one.
It's good because they interlace enough adult stuff.
Yeah,
that
that
makes
you
it
can
interesting to
watch
watch.
it.
But the Teen Titans is pretty screamy too.
It's
If you're
not
out of the
that
room, it's
bad.
like just a lot of screaming. Everything is screaming. It's like
I like Robin on that one.
I think it's just because there's such ADD now amongst kids. If you have to scream and be loud to get attention.
And then there's the one with the kid with the superpower of a diamond or something. Amanda knows there. She was Olivia was watching it in the car. It's got a catchy song to it, but I just can't think of it.
You've lost me on all of this.
I know,
I
I
have
know.
no small children
Right.
in my
The
life.
best part, my kids are old enough now that what they like to watch the most is scary movies. So
Well-
now we can actually watch scary movies together, which is awesome.
I don't
Well,
like to be scared, so I don't know those either.
Really? Those are the
I
best.
tried to get them to watch the
No,
Three Stooges.
Scary enough being married. I'm not. I don't watch
Scary-
anything else.
scared
I don't
and
need
married.
anything else.
So the Bachelorette is not for you then.
No.
Talking about marriage, no.
No,
I
that's
still
terrifying.
I can't understand how people watch that.
I don't know either. It doesn't.
I tried to watch 2 minutes of it. I'm like, I can't take it. This is dumb.
Steven Universe. Yes, that's the show. It's got a catchy song to it.
Diamond Hands.
Well, shit. Oh, it's what's getting the kids to watch, right? This, the old Tom and Jerry, which they do like.
Mm-hmm.
The Flintstones, the Three Stooges.
Ugh.
Oh, gotta get them while they're young, actually. And you got and the old Roadrunner and Bugs Bunny stuff. Mm-hmm. And when they see something, it's like, you just remember, kids. You should be old enough to know now that falling off a cliff will kill you, but this is a cartoon.
All my sarcasm I learned from Woody Woodpecker and Bugs Bunny.
Woody Woodpecker.
That's what I learned what sarcasm was. Is from watching them every day. I'm like,
what were the two blackbirds?
Funny. Oh yes. It rhymed.
Yeah.
Was it Jess and something? Those was awesome.
I don't know. I learned all my sarcasm from my father.
See, my father was sarcastic, but I was not allowed to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was.
I prefer worldsex.com.
All right, then.
Okay. That's a statement.
Well, we're gone an hour and 5 minutes.
Well, I think we're at the end.
We're at the end.
I gotta get back to work.
Paul's gotta go back to work.
I gotta get back to work. I gotta get ready for that party.
What time's the party at?
5 to 7 tonight.
5 to 7 tonight. So don't show up then.
Nope, doors will be locked. We'll be inside.
But we are going to do a featured video with Paula in a few minutes.
There you go. So watch Facebook,
In
Instagram
about
for
2
the video.
weeks.
Yeah.
They'll be out because we're a week ahead with another video. So
awesome.
Or week something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Thank you guys always again for joining us. As awesome as always. Paula, again, Paula's Couture Consignment.com. Yeah.
Yep. You
Couture.
Right. Couture is easy.
C-O-U-T-U-R.
CoutureConsignment.
Nice.
At Paula's in Batavia.
Come down and visit. 4 West Wilson is the easy way to find us all. Come around the back side.
She'll make bacon, she said.
No. Gotta make that bacon. Jay.
I make the bacon.
I gotta get back to work.
That's the monies. Gotta make the money.
Well, see, now we almost had her making bacon, and we would have been over there eating bacon.
The bacon party's tomorrow morning.
Bacon's good on everything.
Right?
Oh.
I was gonna
never enough.
I was gonna make bacon wrap bacon. Like, how good would that be?
That would be good.
Bacon wrap bacon on top of bacon?
Right, if you double down on the bacon, it could only get better.
With a little extra bacon bits?
Everything's better with bacon.
Yeah.
I don't know how the Bacon Council didn't adopt that phrase. Everything's better with bacon.
Right?
Yeah, that'd
I'm
have been a
probably
good
gonna go
one.
copyright that now.
You should.
It's mine. Thank you guys.
All right,
see you again next week. Same bad time, same bad channel.
Keep your head on a swivel.
Adios.
I know the knock. I'm listening.
What?
That's Lisa.
Hold on.
That's hysterical.